Some specifics now, okay? I've heard women say this, correct me if I'm wrong, that men only go for beauty in a woman. That's all they want is a beautiful woman to put on their arm and walk around with. You think that's true?
That's the initial.
Absolutely, yes.
Reaction.
They are very prejudiced and they discriminate, but they only want the beautiful woman for sex, and they use her and abuse her. Then they'll take the average woman for the wife.
That's such a blanket statement,
cruel,
like all men are bad.
Wait a second, that's kind of a blanket statement.
The problem is it works both ways. Women are attracted to men for their money, and anyone who doubts
you got all the damn money. Because they took the money away from us. They keep all the money for themselves, so we have to suffer to get the money out of them. That's why. That's the reason, because men have the power. They have, through war and through discrimination, they have taken the money, and we have to fight to get a little money from them for support.
If men have the power, why do women own approximately 80% of the wealth of the United States of America? Simply because they inherited from their dead husbands, their fathers, and their grandfathers.
They have it. It's too late to do anything.
You know what we're going to have to try and do? We're going to have to try and go one at a time here, okay?
I think your basic premise is wrong.
What's the basic premise?
Absolutely basic wrong. That you're saying that people are attracted to each other for very superficial reasons. That's not why they fall in love. Maybe the first thing across a crowded room, you say, gee, that's a great-looking guy, it's a great-looking gal. But that's not what makes people marry.
I agree with that.
They fall in love for chemical reasons or attraction or feelings or what they see in the other person. This is, what you talked about is just initial attraction.
You know, when the little red light on the television camera goes on, women like to pretend. They pretend that they're not mercenary. But you can read the personal ads, and you know what women say they want. They want men who are successful.
Be quiet.
They want men who are successful.
Always younger.
Successful, wealthy, successful, secure, successful,
Should we want
professional. Did I mention successful? Did I mention successful?
Yes,
we are
sir.
tired of being treated as success objects and walking wallets. It demeans us. Cut it out.
What do you want? What do you want?
We have a comment right here, yes.
I think men have to be both. They have to be both rich and attractive. I think the last segment showed that. You saw women screaming after these half-naked men. They're physically attracted to men. They're attracted to physically attractive men, but he also has to be rich on top of that.
Well, wouldn't it be, I guess, appropriate to say that they'd be physically attracted to you because of your looks for about a day, and then they're going to find out on that first date what kind of job you have?
Exactly, that's the point.
No, it's what kind of person you are and whether you love being with them. That's why you marry.
You really think that?
Yeah, you know, another thing, I think
But
you're not realizing...
if that were true, Cynthia,
Yeah.
then why don't marriages last longer? Because if you took the time to find out, are you a nice person, and can I live with you?
You know why they don't last longer?
Why?
The people who were marrying for the wrong reasons. That's why I wrote a book called Why Women Shouldn't Marry. The basic reasons for marrying are very different today than they used to be. Years ago, a gal got married because, number one, she wanted to have her own home. She usually lived with her mama. You know, you lived home. You lived in until life. You did everything until you got married. Okay, that's one reason. She wanted sex, which was not readily available outside of marriage unless you were the Miss Roundheels of the neighborhood. Now, if you think you only have sex inside of marriage, you believe in the tooth fairy. So you know this isn't so. Okay, she needed derivative status. She married because if she married a doctor, my God, her mother celebrated for 3 years. She was Mrs. Doctor, and she needed support. Now you take all those reasons and they're gone. The woman today is the lawyer and the doctor. She has her own home. Sex is freely available. So the reasons for marrying are really only one, that you find somebody who you love and you want to share your life with, and that doesn't happen that readily. And she marries later.
No, the reason people marry, that is not the only reason why people marry. Since the beginning of time, people have married to give their children a name and an identity. And it's
That's changing too.
The children are forgotten.
There are many women who are choosing to be single parents, and look, we have no aristocracy in this country. Who have we got? We have the movie stars. I think Farrah Fawcett, Mia Farrow, I'll tick them all off, Glenn Close, who have children outside of wedlock, and nobody's nobody's looking at them and saying, oh my God, no more.
I think women still expect to marry up. They still expect to better themselves financially when they enter into relationships with men. Can I say something about Glenn Close?
Go ahead.
Can I just say something about Glenn Close? I saw Glenn Close in a television interview a couple of weeks ago. She had really short hair. She was wearing a man-style jacket, you know, big broad shoulders. She had a man's shirt, pants, men's shoes, men's socks, no jewelry, no makeup. No one said to her, hey, Glenn, why are you dressed like a man today? Are you a transvestite? You see, when people comment on the way I'm dressed, they show that we have a real double standard in our society.
Just because a lot of people have grabbed me as I've walked by them and said, what's with the skirt? What is with the skirt,
Well, I think women do get to make choices in life that men don't get to make. They get to act like men, look like men. I don't think men have a reciprocal freedom, and I want people to know when they look at me I won't put up with it anymore. No more special privilege for women. No more.
All right, let me ask you, you mentioned sex, Cynthia. Do men and women look for the same thing in sex? Is it the same for both sexes?
You know, it's funny that you say that because what you just said the same. The way the sexes have changed today is 20 years ago, after having sex, did you ever hear a guy say to a woman, was it good for you? It was always assumed that whatever she got, that was acceptable. Not anymore. Today, the guy gets audited, and he gets evaluated, and he better damn well perform, or he's out. This is a change, and this is, again, why women don't marry that quickly.
All right, Kelly, what does the woman look for in sex versus what the man looks for?
I think that women want a relationship, something with meaning and value. Men want to plant their seeds. They want to jump on your belly and fill you with jelly. They want to plant the seeds and run.
I think men are looking for intimacy. I think men are looking for intimacy
As soon as
the same...
you talk about love, they get frightened.
I think
frightened.
Men are looking for intimacy the same as women, but you mentioned at the top of the show, I thought women had a lot of sexual power. Maybe I should just explain why that is. I mean, I think in this culture, it's still the man's obligation to pursue the woman. He courts her, he pays for the pleasure of her company.
Not in that
He
aspect.
asks, she decides. She says, another cheap shot over here from the little, count the cheap shots.
That's my first one.
She says if and when there's going to be sex, she controls the supply of sexuality, therefore she has the power. And because she has virtually unlimited access to male sexuality, she can never understand how some men feel devalued and worthless and powerless. She's the sexual celebrity, he's the sexual supplicant. There's a huge gap in between, and when women complain about that, they're behaving like spoiled little children.
All right, you just said that women control sex. Who initiates sex? Who?
The man.
Usually the man.
It is the
They
man.
initiate it because the men have this impulsive, compulsive sex drive. Women are careful. Men try to force sex
It's
on them
not
all the
compulsive.
time. And
Compulsive
they get women
is-
pregnant all the time. Women don't want to
Wait
be
a minute.
pregnant.
A woman
They're
doesn't
getting
need-
pregnant against their will.
But there's a very big difference. A woman does not need an erection in order to have sex.
Say again, Cynthia?
A woman does not need to have an erection in order to have sex. She's ready. So the man has to initiate it.
Yeah, but let's face it, aren't there times when women use sex as a tool? Boy, don't they control the relationship with sex.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Well, you gotta use something to get these guys. They don't want to help you. They don't want to do anything for you. That's the only weapon you
At least we have an
have.
admission that women use sex
It's
as
true.
weapons. I'm
Of
glad
course.
that she's being
I
truthful
don't
about
because
that.
I'm celibate for
Women-
11 years. But a lot
Women
of women use
love being courted and pursued and paid
I
for.
get
They like
tired
having
of
that
that.
power over men, and I don't think they
We
want to give
should
it up.
have
Be
that
honest
power
about
over
it.
men,
Be
'cause
honest
all
about
they
it. You
want
like
is
it that
sex.
way.
And we want something substantial, so we have to have a weapon to keep these guys
Men
under
want
control.
intimacy. Ask the men if they're
No, they
looking for
don't.
intimacy, because I
No,
believe
they
they are.
don't.
You want intimacy or sex,
No,
guys?
they want sex.
Both. There you go. But can you find both?
You certainly can.
You can.
You really can. You know, women, they want the upper hand now. I don't understand it. They don't tell us what they want anymore, and they yell at us for not
We want you
giving
to
them
be
what
our
they want.
slaves.
Let me
That's what
try
I
this
want.
line. Let me try this line on you. Does this sound familiar? A man in a woman wants somebody who's going to say, I've never done this before, I'm a virgin. But he also wants, during sex, for her to look at him and say, you're the best I've ever had. Does that happen? Do you ever do that?
All the time.
I didn't understand the question.
Oh, yeah. Good try. Good try. Go ahead.
We're in an age of cohabitation right now. There's probably as much cohabitation as marriage, right? Okay? Sex. The emphasis is on sex. What happened to the courtship? What happened to romance? What happened to love? What happened to commitment? Love, sex without love is like getting all dressed up with no place to go.
No, but this is absolutely wrong. People, because in my book I interviewed many couples who have lived together for years in a very wonderful domestic relationship who choose not to marry. The love is there, the courtship is there, the caring. The only thing missing is a marriage
But
license.
the
So they
children
don't
have a
want it.
name.
They don't want children. Why do you assume everybody wants children?
I'm assuming that it's the
Why?
most powerful drive. Next to sex
Not
and survival.
everybody- no, no,
what
no.
else is there? Everything is secondary.
That's you.
That's the
that
most
may
powerful.
be,
No, the
do not
scientists tell us
inflict
this.
your feelings on
The
others.
most powerful
There-
drive
no,
in a
no.
human being or any animal is survival
True.
and sex. And that's what perpetuates. That's why we're all here,
We're
because
not
our fathers
animals,
and
we're
mothers had
people.
sex.
And people have minds. It's different from animals.
We have
and not
souls.
all women
Different
want
from
children,
animals?
and not
We have
all
souls.
men
Animals
want
don't have
children.
Why are we different
And why
from
should we
animals?
discriminate against somebody who doesn't want
Why
children?
are we different from animals? We are the animal.
If I have to
nature.
tell you, you're in trouble.
Well, please tell me. Please put me in trouble.
All right, I'll
All
tell
right.
you one very... Okay.
We've established the differences. Can we make it better for the future? That's what we'll find out next on People Are Talking. Stay with us.